Welcome back to the Sooner Surge. Before we get started this video, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications, join the Sooner Surge, be a part of it. Also, check out the FanStop, www.thefanstop.com. Use code SURGE, you'll get 10% off your first 3 months. And it is game day in Norman, the last home game of the year at the Palace on the Prairie, prime time night game. Alabama rolling into tide with the roll tide, rolling into town. And a game before the year that everybody said, give me prime time. Give me prime time against Bama in Norman. I want it. Well, you got it. You got Chris Fowler. You got Kirk Herbstreit. You got Holly Rowe on the call. And now it seems like a lot of OU fans are saying, ooh, I don't know if I want this prime time game. But you know what? You play to win the game, and you have to play the game. And we're going to find out tonight what happens. Is it going to be the OU team that's shown up for most of the SEC on offense? Or are they going to play very inspired football? Because the story of this game is a lot of these seniors, it's their last time on the Palace on the Prairie, and they have given everything they've had to the university. Guys like Danny Stutzman, guys like Ethan Downs, Billy Bowman, Woody Washington, Zach Schmidt. I mean, we could go down the list. We could go down the list. There's been a lot of guys that have stuck it through a lot of kind of transition. So kudos to them, and I hope tonight they play one of their best efforts of the year and go out with a good performance, Jackson.
Yeah, Jason, I just want to say, as you said, it's time to honor the seniors. So thank you to those seniors, that have given it their all, and guys like Danny Stutzman and Billy Bowman and Ethan Downs that chose to return, in which season they had no intentions of it going like this at all. I know it's been a tough season on them, but they, as you said, tonight they have a chance to go out with a bang, have a chance to shock not only Oklahoma fans but all of college football, and potentially knock Alabama out of college football playoff contention with the loss. But Jason, I think it's just a time in which Oklahoma, if you have anything on offense, somehow, some sort of a pulse consistently for a whole entire game, this is when you need it the most. Oklahoma, they're still fighting for bowl eligibility. They need to get that. And Jackson Arnold, was named a captain, so that's who we're expecting to be the starting QB. I think he's going to somehow need to be able to make some plays outside of the pocket if Oklahoma's offense was to have any chance, because the offensive line not healthy. You're more than likely are going to have Spencer Brown starting, so he's going to have 1 to 2 seconds maximum on that side every single play to throw the ball. But Oklahoma, they're going to need truly, Jason, some Sooner magic on primetime under the lights, the Palace on the Prairie. And also, I really hope to see Sooner Nation there to show out, because why would you not? It's senior night. You're playing Alabama, the brand. You should always show up to support your Sooners.
Well, and I think this game, before we get to the Sooner standouts, I think this is a game where you got to take a page out of another team that beat them earlier this year. You got to take a page out of Vanderbilt, and you have to try to run the ball and can't turn the ball over. You can't turn it over one time. You got 0 turnovers tonight. You got to run the ball, and you got to run Arnold. I think you have to run Arnold quite a bit, and just take a few chances down the field. But then everything else, I'm doing safe. They just can't. I don't think they can try to open it up or anything and try to win this game. The way it's been with turnovers, you can't. You got to play ball control. Try to get yards on the ground, keep the ball out of Alabama's hand, give your defense a chance without turning the ball over on short fields. And then you see what happens. Now, whether or not you can do that, I have no freaking clue, because they haven't shown they can really do that offensively. But they're going to have a really solid offensive performance with no turnovers to be in this game. And that's the only shot they have. So, and you got to give your defense a chance to get turnovers. And when I say that, I mean, you can't have it where the opposing offense knows that they just got to do a little bit to win. You got to put a little bit of pressure on them, get a lead, and then make them have to do things that they're not really comfortable doing. And that gives OU's defense a chance to get turnovers. That's one of the reasons why OU hasn't had many turnovers on defense lately, is because offenses know they don't have to do a whole lot. It's not as risky. But let's get to Sooner standouts. Jackson, you go first. Who are your Sooner standouts for this game tonight?
Defensively, I think, I'm going to have to go with the easy pick, and I'm going to say Danny Stutzman. It's senior night. The legacy he's left at the University of Oklahoma. One of the greatest linebackers to ever come out of the University of Oklahoma, along with greats like Rocky Calmus and Teddy Lehman and many, many more, Jason. I think he's going to have a special game. And I do think that he's going to rock Jalen Milroe a few times when Milroe tries to run, and Stutzman's going to be there to make some big-time hits on Jalen Milroe. Offensively, I think a lot is whether or not this guy plays, and I'm having the expectation he's going to play, and that's Javonte Barnes. I think he's been Oklahoma's best back when healthy all year long. I think Oklahoma, they have been much better at running the ball at times since John Finley took over at calling plays, and I think they're going to find a little bit of success in the ground game. And special teams, I'm going to go with the other senior and Zach Schmidt, Jason. I think Zach Schmidt's going to make a couple field goals versus Missouri, had a big-time kick before the half, a career-long 50-plus yards. So just talk about a spectacular kick, and I think they're going to need Schmidt to hit a couple kicks. You're muted.
Every time. Well, I'm glad I was muted because I'm actually going to change my pick. So you don't even know what I was going to say. You thought I was going to say, could you read my lips what I was going to pick?
No.
Okay. I'm not picking what I said. But special teams, I'm going to go with this is going to be a surprise. And I'm going to go Jacoby Johnson. I'm going to say Jacoby Johnson blocks a punt. So there you have it. That's what I'm going with. It's a surprise. And then for offense, I'm going to running back as well, Xavier Robinson. I think Xavier Robinson is going to get about 15 carries, and I think he's going to do really well, be physical. Defense, you know what? I'm not picking one player. I'm not. I'm picking three guys. I'm picking Danny Stutzman, Billy Bowman, Ethan Downs. I think those three all have big plays in the game, either sacks or big plays. Those guys, man, just stand for a lot of great things at Oklahoma. And they're not the only ones. I mean, Woody Washington's on defense too. He stands for great things. And so that's why I'm going there. Picks, Jackson. Let's get to picks. Let's go national first. Let's go Arizona State, BYU, an old Big 12 game, which a lot is on the line with this game because you got probably the winner of this is going to the Big 12 championship, I would say. So who do you got, BYU or Arizona State?
Arizona State. I think Arizona State right now is the most underrated team in the country. I'm a big fan of Kenny Dillingham as a coach. I love what he's building there. And I think that they're actually going to win this game by 10-plus points and dominate because I don't think BYU is that good of a team at all, Jason. I think they're 9-0 or whatever they were was a fluke. So I got Arizona State.
Well, they lost last week. So I think they're losing again this week. I think they're losing back-to-back weeks. I'm going Arizona State as well. Second game, kind of a big game, playoff-wise, and it's Ohio State, Indiana. Who do you got?
What did Kurt Signetti say when he was hired at Indiana, Jason?
Google me. I just win.
Exactly. Give me Indiana, man. Ryan Day cannot coach in the big game. I've seen it too many times. Ohio State, they fold on offense so many times under Ryan Day in the big game, and I think this is going to be Kurt Signetti's signature win at Indiana, and they're going to get it done.
Not so fast, as Lee Corso would say. I'm taking Ohio State, and I have Ohio State win the whole thing this year. I think they're going to win the national championship. But Ohio State, I think, is going to win this game. And anybody who's watching this video and you're an SEC fan at all and you want more SEC teams in the playoff, you need to root for Ohio State because an Ohio State win over Indiana, I think, might hurt Indiana enough to get them out of the playoff. Now, which I think is sad, really, because Indiana, if they were to beat Ohio State, would you knock Ohio State out of the playoff? No. But it would for Indiana because their schedule strength is very weak, and they haven't really beaten a top quality team. So I'm taking Ohio State. I think Ohio State beats them 10 points. And then the big one tonight, OU Bama, in a scenario where nobody thought it would be, with OU trying to win this game to get to a bowl game. But that's the reality. Win this game, you're in a bowl game. Win this game, you send your seniors out on a high note. Win this game, and you knock Bama out of the playoff. There's plenty to play for tonight. Plenty to play for. Get out there. Let's see what happens. Jackson, who you got?
Yeah, Jason, you talked about Oklahoma. They have a ton to play for. Alabama also, they're fighting for a chance in the playoffs. So, they know they have to win their last 2 games. They have to win out. I'm sure that's being preached within the walls of Alabama is that, hey, we got to win. And I think the Crimson Tide are going to win. I think Oklahoma is going to give it their all. They're going to fight their hardest. I don't think Oklahoma has the offensive line to get it done, nor do they have the offensive skill players to get it done healthy right now. So I have Alabama of a score of 27-17. I think it's going to be a closer game than people think. I think Oklahoma's defense is going to keep them in it up until that fourth quarter, like we've seen them do over and over and over again this year, and they're just going to start to get tired. And Alabama is going to connect on a big play late in the game to put the game away.
You have a similar score to me. I was going to pick 24-17 Bama, but now that you said that, I might want to change mine because maybe we're both thinking along the same line. It might be total opposite. Maybe OU. A lot of people saying OU's going to get destroyed in this game, 45-6 or 50-10. Guys, I don't see that happening. I think OU, and I think defensively is where this game. I think OU is going to keep it close. I have a tough time. I just, in my right mind, I can't pick OU to score enough to win this game. But also in the same sentence, I can't say that Alabama is just going to go out there and destroy OU defensively. I just don't think they are. So I think it's going to be fairly low scoring. I think OU is going to hold them under 30 points, like you think. But I think OU, I don't see OU scoring more than 17 unless they get some turnovers from Bama. So we both got Bama winning this game, and I hope we're both wrong, Jackson.
Yeah.
And I hope we're both wrong. And this is a game OU fans have been circled for a long time. And I hope the crowd's electric. I hope they show up. I hope they show out. I hope OU shows up and shows out. And I hope OU dominates.
Yep.
We all know they're not going to dominate.
Yep.
I just had to see your reaction. But let's hope they win this game, Jackson. That'd be a great way to send these seniors off on, wouldn't it?
And I know we need to wrap this up soon, but if you look at Jalen Milroe in conference play, outside of the LSU game, Jalen Milroe's not been a very good QB. I believe
I disagree on that.
Well, he's had more interceptions than touchdowns, I believe it was.
Yeah, but I think they've kind of figured out if you look lately, I think he's been playing better, and I think it's because they've been running him more.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're Oklahoma, I think you make Jalen Milroe use his arm to beat you. I think that's what you're going to have to do.
I agree. That's what you have to do. And as much as you don't want Ryan Williams to beat you down the field, you got to eliminate the big play. But at the same time, I think Jalen Milroe is the key to stopping this offense. And that starts with stopping his legs and him running the ball. And you got to be very physical up front, which OU's been pretty good at. So they're really high ranked on run stop defense. I mean, you got Danny Stutzman's number 1 in the nation on run stop defense, 90.4%. So you got to stop the run and then see what happens. And absolutely cannot turn the ball over tonight at all. So let's hope that happens. But once again, appreciate you guys watching the video. We really do appreciate it. Make sure you join us after the game. Jeremy will be on with me. Instant post-game live. Join up right after the game. There'll be a lot to talk about. So hope to see you then. Have a good night.